y'all, let's talk about some spoilers for Scream 2022 because wow, what a freaking movie. Look, by the time this video drops, showtimes for Scream 2022 will have already opened, so a good chunk of y'all will probably have already seen it, and if you haven't, definitely turn back around, go watch it, then come back. Unless you really want spoilers, then you're in the right territory because we're gonna dive into an ending, explain to you guys, and talk just a little bit about what that ending meant, how I interpreted it, and what it could mean. Maybe there's more Scream movies. Not entirely sure, guys. Let's dive in though. But before we do, what's going on? My name's Leo Rydell, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below for movies and videos on the latest in movies, TV, and a sprinkle of anime in there as well, y'all. All things geeky on this channel. Hit that subscribe button and let's talk Scream 2022. And last spoiler warning, there is going to be spoilers. Last one. So let's dive into this ending, you guys. Samantha and Richie finally get to a house. At this point, they've gotten Jenna Ortega's character. They've gotten her out of the hospital. They escaped Ghostface already. So they're headed to the house and the whole crew is having a party. Now, one character in that crew has already been killed, and that's Wes Hicks and his mom, Judy Hicks, who was the new sheriff of the town of Woodsboro after Dewey was asked to leave. So big unfortunate situation there, but those two characters are already dead. A lot of the characters are still around in the party and we don't really know who it is. They keep guessing at this party a lot. Amber and another character, Amber and not Chad Meeks, but Martha. No. Amber and Mindy. Sorry, I have a list of names here that I don't remember their names quite off the bat, but Chad and Mindy, they were twins. And the two of them are still in the house, and Amber's in the house as well. And Mindy and Amber have this weird exchange where we don't know, maybe one of them is Ghostface. Liv is being kind of weird. She drifts off, and unfortunately, Chad gets stabbed by Ghostface, almost killed. And we finally get to these weird oddities that keep happening, and it could be Jack Quaid's character, Richie. However, Richie is, upon questioning, actually questions Sam and says, what if it's your sister? What if it's your little sister? Which is Jenna Ortega's character. And of course, she maybe questions it. We get a shot that it seems like maybe she's questioning it. And then we get our killer reveal, you guys. The killer reveal is Richie and Amber working together. Now, I guessed Richie. Going into this movie, I was thinking it's definitely gonna be Richie. It's gotta be Richie. But the more the movie progressed, y'all, I found myself second guessing, not thinking it would be Richie at all, because he just seemed to go to the ends of the earth for Sam. And to have him be the killer just went against everything for me. And then Amber, I didn't guess it was gonna be Amber because she seemed the most suspicious, but that's what they always do, right? Even in Scream 1. We didn't think it was Billy Loomis. At least I didn't on the first watch. I thought it was because he kept popping up. And then I was like, well, wait, maybe not. Like, they get you questioning throughout the entire movie, but the most obvious person right in front of you is who it ends up being. So it ended up being Amber and Richie. I like that they did this because they became obsessed with the Ghostface hauntings and they became obsessed with internet culture, found each other on Reddit and decided to unfortunately go on this killing spree so they could have the ending that they deserved. And to me, this kind of speaks to some of the other Scream movies and the themes from them of people chasing fame. Just like Scream 4, the killer, Jill Roberts, wanted fame. She wanted recognition from the news and she wanted media coverage. Very similar here, and they also speak about toxic fandom and talk about how the fans are not gonna get their ending, so a little bit of breaking of the fourth wall here. I love that this is like their motive behind this all is to create their own ending in this scenario. I like this because then it creates this uncertainty of whether all characters are going to survive or not. Unfortunately, our boy Dewey did not make it, but I did like them choosing Jack Quaid's character, Richie, and Amber. And the reason why I like this a lot is because you bring back two nuances of the franchise. You bring back the boyfriend being the killer while at the same time a friend of another character being the killer as well. Because in Scream 1, it was Billy Loomis, of course. In Scream 2, it was a friend of the boyfriend. So you bring back these nuances, and the fact that Amber's a girl, that is another nuance that we borrowed from the fourth one. I like that they really borrowed elements from previous killers and put them in here. But guys, y'all gotta let me know down in the comments, who did you think it was? Because I definitely was going in, my radar was going hot on Jack Quaid, and I'm like, look, he's the one. And then when the actual movie started, when them lights went down and I was watching the movie, I'm like, okay, no way it can be Richie, no way. Like, he's on her side and he just wants to be there to help and he didn't have to do anything he did. But it ended up being Richie anyway. And the whole plan to lead them to the house, he's the one that stole the inhaler that Jenna Ortega's character needed. So I absolutely love that they orchestrated all this and it seemed to make sense. A couple other guesses that I had in the back of my head and that I'd seen online as well is that it could have potentially been Samantha, because there was this element of bringing back Billy Loomis, which I'll get to in a second. And I thought maybe was she kind of having these episodes where she couldn't remember, but she was slipping into the ghost face mask. And I thought that that was a potential route they would go. I saw some people theorize that it was Sydney. I'm really glad we didn't go with that, because it wouldn't make sense for the final girl of the whole franchise, who had been running from Ghostface most of her life, to actually be the killer in this one. For me, there would just not be a way to make that make sense whatsoever. So, nope, I'm really glad that we didn't go there. But one element that I liked in the end, but maybe not throughout the film, was Billy Loomis appearing to Samantha in the mirror and talking with her. I liked it at the end because it did come back around to him having her stab that ghost face. So I was like, okay, I like that he comes back and he looks at her and he's like, now's your time to use my family charm for good of killing. So it was like kind of this crazy nuance that I didn't know how I felt about when I first saw it the first time, and the second time I was like, I don't really like this. I did like him appearing in the mirror, looking at her and giving her that gaze, that kind of approval, like, no, don't be a killer, but if you're defending yourself, go for it. Use your genes, the genes from me, to go ahead and take care of Ghostface this time. And Sam stabbing Ghostface over and over and over and over was so pleasurable to see. I mean, look, I don't like killing, obviously, but I was just like, look, the final girl finally gets her revenge, just like Sydney did in the first movie, but this time we take him, we shoot him in the head. Look, that is how you make sure these killers are dead. You gotta get them in the head, pop them in the head to make sure they're gone, because ain't no zombies coming back and Scream. Now, can't say the same thing for Halloween, can't say the same thing for Nightmare on Elm Street, but typically Ghostface is a human person, so there's no way for them to come back yet. I'm not gonna say that yet because they might change that formula, but guys, the two killers ended up being Richie and Amber so that they could create their own ending. They became obsessed with Samantha and Woodsboro and Ghostface over the internet, met each other on Reddit on a message board, which I thought was another thing. It was like a cool reference to the deep web and how much people actually surf through there and how dangerous it could be. The two of them got together, they orchestrated all of this, and that happened. Billy Loomis appears to Samantha. Sydney, Samantha, and Courtney end up escaping, luckily, and Samantha gets the last laugh and ends up stabbing the hell out of Richie and killing him worse than any of the kills in the movie. Like this, man, Samantha went in, y'all. She went in, didn't she? She was stabbing the hell out of Richie, and I was just like, there we go, baby, tell him. But a great ending, and I think that this could be a button to the franchise. I'm not entirely sure if they want to pick it up and go somewhere else, and they always could. Look, Halloween is what, 12 or 13 movies in, but I kind of think the jokes won't be as fun, and I think a break from the franchise was actually the best thing it could have gotten, getting to get that another 11-year break just like it did between 3 and 4. I think when they have breaks, it helps the franchise because they can come back with fresh content. They can really parody and have meta humor around the horror that is happening now. You get all these references throughout the movie of current day horror movies like Hereditary, The Babadook, and just like kind of like more heady and mental horror, and they even like play off that and talk about that. But I never once thought that it was Jenna Ortega's character that was the killer. I had my suspicions about Liv. I never thought the twins were the killers. I was like, well, they're Randy's uncle. I don't think, or Randy's uncle. They're Randy's niece and nephew. I don't think that they would have an interest in trying to kill his childhood best friend. So I didn't think it was those two. I thought it could have been Wes, but at the same time, another one that would have been just too obvious due to him being involved in 13 Reasons Why, the actor. So I didn't think it was him, but man, I really narrowed my list down pretty much to like Melissa, Jack, and a few others. I didn't think it was Amber. Again, too obvious. But the fact that they went ahead and threw a curveball in there, because it was like, okay, Amber, I could see, but Jack Quaid, I was guessing that, but I was like, maybe I'm crazy. Because of the events of the film, I think that one kind of blindsided me, because I just let that wall down and trusted Jack, but that wasn't quite the right move, you guys. So, great ending to this Scream 2022 movie. Potentially an ending to the franchise. I mean, one of the legacy characters has already died. I don't think we need to make another movie and then kill Gale Weathers. Like, look, you guys let me know down in the comments where we are now and how this movie ended. Are you satisfied? Do you think there should be another Scream? Do you think we need another one? And if so, do you think we should follow Melissa and the new crew? Should we recruit a whole new crew of characters and bring back Sydney and Gale again? Let me know down in the comments, because the way I'm feeling is I think that we should just go ahead and let the movie series die, and maybe we can pick back up on a TV show following another new crew, because I think at this point, look, I love me some Neve Campbell, love me some Courtney Cox, but I think at this point, the formula is getting a little tired. And not that, hey, this is my favorite horror franchise, but I just worry that if we have a Scream 6, are things gonna start to really slip through the cracks, and are we gonna feel like, okay, every 3 movies, they suck? So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, how you felt about the ending of Scream 2022, and did you guess the killer? Because I guessed Jack Quaid, but then when the movie started, I was like, maybe not, but it ended up being correct, my initial guess. So let me know, did you guess Richie? Did you guess Amber? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button for your boy Leo Rydell, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.